Okay, so I made a lot of these videos. Hopefully I can finally call it quits, you know. So all the Juku interviews, nice. He talked about different tactics used by civilian groups. I don't necessarily agree with them. Don't necessarily disagree with them. Now, remember in the movie Tron, there's a futuristic fighting techniques. Remember the video game The Double Dragons? Now, what were the Double Dragons? Upper and Lower Egypt, or Egypt and Nubia. The pyramids were built long before Abraham got to Egypt. So the Jews didn't build the pyramids. Sorry. It was actually the Nubians who built the pyramids. Khufu and Djoser, Imhotep, these kind of guys. Second, the third dynasty. You know, the Step Pyramid. The Great Pyramids of Giza. No one really knows, but that is the latest they could have been built. Now, where was that? Oh, yes. Wait. Should I end this one this early? Should we read you something from the Bible again? Okay, where do it take us? Job, Bildad. Okay, we all know the story about Job and how he laid around feeling sorry for himself and how he gave all his people and how God tested him. Okay. God speaks to Job. Then the Lord answered Job out of the storm. He said, "Who is this that the darkness my counsel with words without knowledge?" Excuse me, he said, "Who is this that darkens my counsel with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man, I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched its measuring line across it? And what were its footings set? Or who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy. Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and I wrapped it in thick darkness. When I fixed limits for it. And I set its doors and bars in place. When I said, this far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn in its place, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. The wicked are denied their light, and their upraised arm is broken. Have you journeyed to the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? Have you seen the gates of the shadow of death? Have you comprehended the vast expanses of earth? Tell me, if you know all this, what is the way to the abode of light, and where does darkness reside? Can you take them to their places? Do you know the paths to their dwellings? Surely you know, for you were already born. You have lived so many years. Have you entered the storehouses of the snow, or seen the storehouses of the hail, which I reserve for times of trouble, for days of war and battle? What is the way to the place where the lightning is dispersed, or the place where east winds are scattered over the earth? Who cuts the channel for the torrents of rain, and a path for the thunderstorm, to water a land where no man lives, a desert where no one in it, to satisfy a desolate wasteland and make it sprout with glass? Does the rain have a father? Who father the drops of dew? From whose womb comes the ice? Who gives birth to the frost from the heavens? When the waters become hard as stone, when the surface of the deep is frozen? Can you bind the beautiful Pleiades? Can you loose the cords of Orion? Can you bring forth the constellations in their season, or lead the bear with its cubs? Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set up God's dominion over the earth? Can you raise your voice to the clouds and cover yourself with a flood of water? Do you send the lightning bolts on their way? They report to you, here we are? Who endowed the earth with wisdom, or gave understanding to the mind? Who has the wisdom to count the clouds? Who can tip over the water jaws of the heavens? When the dust becomes hard and the clods of earth stick together, do you hunt the prey for the lioness and satisfy the hunger of the lions when they crouch in their dens or lie in wait in a thicket? Who provides food for the raven when its young cry out to God and wander about for lack of food? Okay, so that's God setting Job straight, and it's interesting what he chose to use, and I believe I pointed that out before in my quotes in one of my ones. Maybe it's one of the ones I took off. I took off maybe 5 videos, and all of them were pretty much right. One of them was me cussing out, the New World Order in a way that I knew people were going to give me a hard time about. Another one was about 9/11, and I felt I beat it to death, and it was conspiracy, but not necessarily the one the conspiracy theorists think it is, and it's very complicated. And okay, so when Bartimaeus received his sight, all Jesus said was go. This is Mark 10, 49 through 52. Alright, I'll end it there.